Hey everyone, I'm Kat, your narrator, and this little dude is Vitamin D. He's giving off a creepy vibe, I know, but once you get to know what he is and what he does, you're gonna think he's pretty spectacular. Vitamin D is a group of fat-soluble secosteroids. Secosteroids just being a fancy term for a steroid-like molecule that is unjoined at the 9th and 10th carbon. Vitamin D, in its hormone state, calcitriol, regulates the concentration of calcium and phosphate, helping in the promotion of the growth of healthy bones. Also, in the calcitriol form, it acts as an anti-inflammatory mediator. Vitamin D acts as a cytokine and is expressed through a vitamin D receptor. Vitamin D also exerts influence over genes that regulate cell proliferation, cell differentiation, and program cell death. Vitamin D is totally necessary, and in my humble opinion, is chock full of awesomeness. So, now you're probably wondering, where can I lay my hands on some of this vitamin D? Well, vitamin D, like all good men, are hard to find. You can find them in shrooms. No, not those shrooms. These shrooms. Mushrooms that are grown in light can offer a powerful dose of vitamin D. If you're not a fan of shrooms, then you can find it in fatty fish such as tuna and sardines. However, if you're not down for eating smelly fish, then don't worry. Some everyday food staples are fortified with vitamin D, the most recognizable being milk.
Whoa, D, don't make me get the hose. However, if you want to do it the easy way, all you need is some sunshine and some skin, and you can synthesize your own vitamin D. Sorry, little dude.
So, this is how it happens. UVB rays from the sun come down and bombard the skin. The photons penetrate the skin and hit the catechocytes. The catechocytes store the 7-hydrocholesterol, also known as provitamin D3. The provitamin 3D goes through an isomerization, where there's a shift in the double bonds between the 9th and the 10th carbons, which produces pre-vitamin D. Pre-vitamin D is an unstable intermediate, and therefore must react further to stabilize. An internal isomerization occurs to form vitamin D3, which as it stands right now is inactive and not very helpful. Confused? Okay, well, let me break it down for you without all the chemical talk. Do you remember way back when the first Legend of Zelda came out for Nintendo? You had Link, who granted was awesome, but very limited in his movement. This is like pro-vitamin D that's imprisoned in the keratinocytes. Then at Nintendo, they did some major research and development and came out with the 64-bit Nintendo, which introduced us to young Link, with more movement but limited knowledge. Think of him as the unstable intermediate, pre-vitamin D. Then, when Link places a sword in the stone, BAM! He becomes a lean, mean fighting machine capable of defeating some major Ganon ass. This is vitamin D. However, the process is not complete yet. Vitamin D cannot translocate into the circulation by itself. It needs some help. Just as Link doesn't go running around Hyrule by himself, he uses his cool horse Epona. Think of Epona as the vitamin D binding protein that allows Link to head out of the skin and into circulation. Though vitamin D has gone through some major transformations to get where it is, it's not done yet. It first needs to stop by the liver, where it's phosphorylated and becomes calcidiol. Calcidiol is the main form of vitamin D in circulation. It is stored in hepatocytes until needed. Once needed, the hepatocytes release the calcidiol, which attaches to an alpha globulin and heads over to the kidneys. It is then hydroxylated to form calcitriol. This is the hormonal form of vitamin D, and it then circulates, regulating its domain. So here's where we start speculating and synthesizing the information. According to what I read, fair pigment people produce vitamin D at much higher rates than those at darker pigments. Why could this be? Well, reading further, they suggest that perhaps the melanin in the skin is in competition with the provitamin D that's in the keratinocytes for photons, the melatonin winning the majority of the photons and leaving provitamin D with scraps, thereby causing a decrease in vitamin D synthesis. But why else? Let's speculate without the aid of someone's research. Remember when I said vitamin D can mediate inflammation? Well, isn't sunburn an inflammation? And aren't fair-skinned people more susceptible to sunburn? Perhaps a higher rate of vitamin D helps mediate this response to sunburn. I don't know, it's just something I thought about at 1 a.m. So this is the part where I put up my test questions. Well, thanks for playing along. I hope you were entertained, and if you weren't, then what the hell is wrong with you? Anyways, if you're interested in more mildly entertaining, mediocrely produced videos, check out my other ones, including Grandma, Why Do I Have Freckles? And Redheads in Pain.